Okay, so in this video I'm going to talk about comparing fractions. And look, it's going to be quite obvious, some of these comparisons, because if the denominator is the same, then, for example, if we were to have 2 6, is that greater than, or is it less than, or is it equal to 4 6? Well, clearly it's not it's not equal to. I would rather have 4 6 of something than 2 6, because uh, 2 parts less. So 2 6, if it's the same denominator, 2 6 is less than 4 6. 1 half, well, obviously equal to a half. It's not really going to get us too far. 2 quarters is less than 3 quarters. Let's go ahead and do one where we may have to work something else out. We've got 3/5 and 6/8. First of all, let's have a look at these two denominators here. It's pretty hard to compare fractions when we have a denominator, when the denominators are different. So what we need to do is we need to find the multiples of each, and we'll get to why we can do that, why we do that in a second. But the multiples of 5 are 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, and you just keep going, because we need to find the lowest common multiple. Let's do the multiples of 8. We've got 8, 16, 24, 32, and 40. Now, once we find the lowest common multiple, which in this case is going to be 40, then what we can do is, once we have this lowest common multiple, we need to actually get each of these to the same denominator. So we do that by multiplying to get to the lowest common multiple. So how do we get 5 into 40? Well, we have to multiply that by 8. So let's go ahead and do that now. So we need to multiply this side by 8, which means that we have to do the same to the numerator. Otherwise, we've got something completely different. So essentially, it's the same thing. The equivalent fraction of 3/5 when we multiply both sides by 8 is going to be 24 over 40. If we do the same over here, we need to, this time though, 8 needs to go to 40. So we need to multiply this by 5, which means we do the same. So that is the same as 30 over 40. So now we have the same denominator. We have 24 parts comparing to 30 parts out of 40. So 24 parts out of 40 is less than 30 parts out of 40. Let's do another one. Let's go for 2/5 and 1/3 over here. First of all, the multiples of 3 are 3, 6, 9, 12, 13, so on. The multiples of 5 are 5, 10, 15. Well, we can stop there because we know that there's the lowest common multiple of these. 15. So now we need to multiply the denominator of each to get to 15. So in this case, the 2 over 5, we need to multiply 5 by 3, which means we multiply 2 over 5. Over here, we need to do 15, so we have to multiply the denominator by 5, multiply the numerator by 5. So on the right-hand side, we've got an equivalent fraction of 5 over 15. On the left-hand side, we've got an equivalent fraction of 6 over 15. So 6 over 15 is greater than 5 over 15. So I'll get you to do the rest. Clearly, it's easy to compare fractions when they have the same denominator like these. 3/5, 3 parts out of 5 is less than 4 parts out of 5. But if you have to compare fractions which have a different denominator, then what you need to do is find the lowest common multiple, have each fraction, then you need to multiply one or both fractions to get the same denominator. In this case, though, you don't need to multiply this 8. So we only have by 2. So we've got 2 8s, which is going to be less than 5 8s. So first, just to recap, first of all, you need to find, when you're comparing fractions, you can't really compare fractions until they have the same denominator. Some are going to be if they do have the same denominator, it's quite easy. If they have a different denominator, you'll have to use the lowest common multiple, and so you can then have both fractions with the same denominator so you can compare them.